Well, hey guys, how's it going? Let's get this out of here. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you guys are doing well and life is treating you well. And let me just get this off my keyring here. We're gonna be talking keychain flashlights, particularly the Nitecore Tiny #2. And I have been running this on the keychain now for about 2 months. Really like it. There are a lot of good features with it. So we're gonna break down this flashlight, but we're gonna talk also just concept of a keychain flashlight as well. Run in some other options for you. I don't know how the boys' Duplo set got inside the shed, but somehow it did. You always find stuff when you have little kids in the weirdest places. But anyway, also going to run in the Phoenix E03R. I appreciate how Nitecore names their lights stuff, you know, like the Tiny 2 or the Tink, you know, I think is what they have for one of them. And, you know, just different things like that. I don't like it when flashlights just have all the crazy model numbers and stuff. Kind of makes it hard to remember. But I've used this for several months as well, my keychain, and now with the Nitecore, run them head to head as well in this video. And I really do believe there's a lot of value to be had with a keychain flashlight, usually USB powered and rechargeable in that way, because all of us would like to say that we're running a dedicated, you know, like EDC tactical light in our weak side pocket, right? Right here I have the Streamlight ProTac 1L 1AA, all those model numbers. And this has been, you know, right in my pocket regularly, but there are days where I forget it, or it just is really bulky, or, you know, just whatever, I forgot it. I mean, name the different thing, you know, that's going on. And so it's always good to have a backup flashlight. And so let's go ahead and get to it. Take a look at what this Tiny 2 has going on and why, in many ways, it has replaced the Phoenix, but also take a look at what you need to look for when you're looking at a keychain ready flashlight. So right out of the gate, I believe power to size ratio is one of the biggest things you need to think about and look for in your keychain flashlights. And this is one of the best I've seen on the market so far. Not only is it really compact, I'm annotating in for you guys the different sizes for dimension for you, but a little perspective visually, it is about 3/4 of the size of a Leatherman Squirt in length and just a hair wider. And it's gonna weigh a lot less at 0.6 ounces, so less than an ounce with this little guy right here hanging on your keychain. So size-wise and weight-wise, it makes a lot of sense, but what about power? That's where this guy really comes in at 500 lumens on demand. Right out of the gate, you hit the turbo button and boom, you've got that turbo power, and it will run there for 15 minutes. Now, there's a slight downside. You have to be pushing the button in order to get that. As soon as I let go, it's gonna go away, or if I already had the flashlight on, it would drop back down to the 200 lumens, which is the normal high running output. Now that 500 lumens is amazing because it is on demand. You hold down that front button and it takes about 1 second for it to engage, and then you're ready to rock and roll. And it gives you not only a really good punch, throw, penetration through foliage, things like that. You can see something going on your property. You could use it to blind an intruder or somebody maybe coming after you, you know, and give you that momentary need to be able to get away, to defend yourself with another tool or weapon, you know, things like that. So it does have some of that capability that a lot of other keychain flashlights just don't offer you, and that is a big selling point for me. As an example, our little Phoenix here definitely can be turned on, but it's always going to go to the low position first, and then you got to cycle through all the way up into your lumens, and the highest output that's going to have for you is 260 lumens. Now, that means it's going to run and give you a higher lumen output regularly versus just the 200 on the Nitecore, but that's all it's got, and it has no turbo mode and no instantaneously high bright output. For many of you, that won't matter. For me, it is something that I look for, and anytime I get the opportunity for my flashlight to throw a high output right out of the gate with one button, I'm gonna gravitate to it. So far, the Nitecore is really proving itself to have a lot of not only capability with its size, but also output in features, and that's just the start. The thing that I really like about this, and what often is a drawback with these rechargeable keychain style flashlights is that you never really know how much juice you have left. Some models, like the Phoenix, will have the ability that it kind of tells you, it blinks a little green or red, depending on how much juice you have left, but you really don't know, and it's just kind of giving you basic concepts of like, yeah, put it on the charger or it's probably going to work for a while. This model has something completely different in an actual digital screen with a readout that is actually pretty accurate on the times that it's giving you. When you turn this little guy on, it'll give you not only the lumen count, but then it will also tell you how many hours and or minutes you have left before it's going to run out. It will slowly count down. It will shut itself off, so it's still running, the light is still on, but then if I want to see that again, I just have to hit the button again, and it will tell me how much juice I got left. But every time you turn it on, you have a good idea of how much time is left before you need to recharge the battery with the USB-C charging cable and plug it into the wall. And more rechargeable flashlights are going to the USB-C, which is a little bit of an upgrade. It helps to charge the batteries faster. And what I found is it's right about 2 hours on average is how long it'll take to recharge this once you completely drain the battery, which I've done a few times. So that little readout screen with the pretty close accuracy to how much battery life you have left is just a really cool feature. And the fact that they can get that all onto this really tiny compact flashlight is really impressive. Now, as I said a little earlier, there are the other settings. So you have a low, which is going to be 1 lumen, and I'll be annotating in for you guys how much, per 1 lumen per how many hours, all that stuff, instead of me trying to just read it off a sheet. The next up is 15 lumens. You'll definitely be able to get, see inside your mailbox. That's what I use this light for a lot, or checking something underneath the car or the hood or whatever it is. And then you have 65 lumens is kind of like your medium, and right now this is telling me that I have 2 hours and 17 minutes after a full charge and a little bit of use that I am using so far. So I mean, that's just what this little readout is telling me here, which is pretty dope. And then finally, it has that 200 at the high, and let's just see what it's telling me here. It says 39 minutes on my little reader here, based off of a charge, and again, having used it a few times since hitting the record button with that. So that's really impressive. And then when you go to the turbo mode, you have about 10 minutes. Right now is what it's saying when it's fully charged. It says it can run for about 15. I think it's a little closer to like 12 is what I've experienced of actual runtime, but that's what they're quoting is a 15. So you get a lot of options that you can easily cycle through. The buttons are easily engaged. There are 2 different lockout modes that you can do as well. And there's also a demo mode, which means that it's going to stay on for 30 seconds and then turn off. So you're not going to accidentally be killing your battery by accidentally turning it on in your pocket for some reason, even if for some reason you didn't put on the lockout mode or something like that. Or you can do daily, where it will not shut off after 30 seconds and it'll just run until it dies on. So there are lots of features and capabilities with this Nitecore that a lot of other EDC style, keychain style flashlights just don't offer you. So something that I'm seeing, which is a really nice upgrade in just the keychain market of flashlights in general, is aluminum bodies over polymer. There used to be a lot of polymer ones out there, which is fine, but aluminum is just going to be a better, durability level. So the Tiny is made out of aluminum. It has 2 pieces that are screwed together with little torque screws, so you could take this whole thing apart if you wanted to. And then the buttons are a polymer, and then we got that obviously polymer screen. The Phoenix that we've been kind of looking at today is also made out of aluminum. I can tell it's a denser form of aluminum, and it's just 1 piece of aluminum. No screws or anything like that. And then the button itself also is either aluminum or some form of metal, whereas with the Nitecore, you're going to get those polymer buttons and screens. So we could argue that the Nitecore maybe seems a little bit more complicated in parts that could maybe have issues over the long haul. Again, I haven't seen any issues so far, and it seems to be holding up really well, but there are items out there like the Phoenix that may give you a little bit higher level of durability if that's something that you're looking for. Okay, so price is definitely going to be a factor. This Nitecore has a lot of cool things, a lot of cool bells and whistles, lots of power, lots of punch, the screen, all of that, but you're gonna pay for it. It's gonna cost you about $40 on average for this little flashlight. To give you perspective, the Streamlight with its heavy duty aluminum body, multi battery capability, is going to run you about $40 as well. But it's only going to have a high output of 350 lumens, where again, this guy's running at 500. So this little keychain, even though it's the same price, is actually giving you a lot more punch for a little bit shorter period of time than what's high on the Streamlight, but just want to kind of throw in some perspective. And whereas the Phoenix here runs you about $25 to $30, so it will be about $10 to $15 cheaper, but again, you're not going to get quite the punch. So that's something to consider as well. Is this really just a backup flashlight? Then maybe the cheaper version is for you. Or if you're looking for that need of, I want to be able to have access to 500 lumens right out the gate. I want to know how much battery life is right there for me. And I want some of those access features and some of those capability features that some other and most other keychain flashlights don't offer, like this Tiny 2 for the size. So guys, I'm going to have a bunch of links for you below. You can go check them out. We appreciate when you do that, and when you purchase through those hyperlinks, helps me continue to make content just like this. So thank you guys. If any of these flashlights are connecting with you and the concept of a keychain flashlight makes sense for you, I will have these flashlights we're talking about today and a few other ones I've used in the past that I like, just to give you some options over on those hyperlinks in the description box below. Well, there you guys have it, the Tiny 2 from Nitecore. Got a lot of power in a very compact package, and I have really enjoyed using it. And it, you know, you're always tuning, you're always updating. Who knows, in 4 months some other brand may come out with something that even has higher power, or is more, you know, compact for about the same amount of lumens. Who knows? But for now, this is what seems to really fit a niche for me. Fits so well, you know, I mean, in many ways it's smaller even than my Leatherman, but it's giving me 500 lumens on demand, which I really like a lot, and it's going to hold that, and it's worth the real estate on my rather bulky keychain. But I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts? Maybe what's your experience been with this Nitecore Tiny 2, or just keychain power, you know, sized flashlights in general. Always look forward to the comments and discussion that we have here at the channel. I invite you, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, hit that subscription button, give us a thumbs up, really appreciate that. And you can follow us along on Instagram, Facebook, social media, so you can see what's up and coming, different projects I'm working on. And guys, until next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.